do a haiku and then to do a little bit about Bill. Last night I had an opportunity to be at my old house where my dog still is living with friends. And he and I were there. Kabuki, painter's dog, guards his house still, waiting for the master's hand. The product of one's creativity does I wrote the wrong word, so I'm stuck. The product of one's creativity does live past our time on earth. Not just as in our children, but also in our poems, our paintings, our ideas expressed to inform, enlighten, engage, entangle, elevate, and endure. The artist's job is to push the species forward, kicking and screaming all the way. I was thinking the species, but perhaps it's the artist also. As some of you may know, Bill wrote a Bildungsroman, a poetic novel titled Tal Fulano. And unfortunately, he never wrote his second book called The Diary of a Tomb Painter. But he did talk about it a lot. And as he talked about it, I realized in this book of his mind, he would be revealing to the reader the artist's machinations and dreams, which drive him or her to fulfill their inner calling, to create, to create, to create. To paint, or write, or pot, to dance, or sing, or music make. To honor the dream. And that is what makes humanity humanity. And what makes humanity move forward on the cultural rung of compassionate evolution. I am truly stunned that you beautiful 12 poets have each spent deep time with Bill through his art. I am stunned that you beautiful 12 poets have each spent deep time with Bill through his art. And now we too will share deep time with your artistic soul. There is no greater honor. And I truly bow to you.
To have this evening and to welcome us into her home, her heart, and in celebration of Bill and his work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Linda Arnold, and I will act as your MC. I have really 4 tasks, and that is to introduce each of the poets and the title of his or her poem. I also will introduce the title of the Bill Rane piece that he or she has selected and show you where that piece is on the wall. So your job is, if I miss any of those pieces, let me know. Fair enough? Okay. We are going to start with Ella Rane Lockey. Ella Rane will celebrate Bill Rane's signature piece, Tal Fulano, with her poem, Mother Earth. And it is right over here. I'm going to walk to it.
like to just briefly tell you the why and how I chose this painting. I grew up in Montana, in the middle of ranch and farm country, and I just instantly identified with the western feel of that painting. And I instantly knew that I wanted to write about the woman in it. And what commanded me to do that was her size in proportion to the rest of the things in the painting. She's bigger than the horse. And I had an idea that I wanted to portray her as the epitome of the perfect farm mother, the do-all and tell-all, the Mother Earth. And then, after I decided that, I thought, well, I really would like to know about this title, Tal Fulano. It was very foreign to me. So I did what most people would do when they want to appear to be an expert on something that they know nothing about. I Googled it. And what popped up immediately was the book, and it was by Bill Rane. So I thought, this is really exciting. So I got the book, and I read it, and I had two really wonderful surprises. The first was that the book was set in Montana, and the second was that the book, half of the book is written in verse, the other half in prose. And I really enjoyed the book. I recommend it. It's a very unusual, deep book. But then, back to the painting, well, I had this kismet feeling, and I decided that I would embed the poem I was going to write in handmade paper. I'm a paper maker, and I decided that the poem should be embedded in wheat straw from Montana, and it should be garnished around the edges with Montana wildflowers and weeds, which is what I did because I was there in August, so the timing worked out. And then finally, I got to the point where I really needed to study the painting to write the poem. And I found there were two reasons I couldn't write the painting the way I had wanted to write it. And one of them, and I can just point, that'll be great. One of those reasons is the position of the right front hoof of the horse. Look where that is. And the second reason is that there's no visible extremities to her. She's missing arms pretty much. She's got one leg that's not there partially, another leg that is kind of missing the foot. So I changed my whole thought on the poem. It's still about the woman, and I kept the title, which is Mother Earth. The valley is a woman naked, lying on her back, legs spread-eagled, always in servitude. Tethers handed down from ancestor gods high above mountain tops, who throw their tantrums in long white bolts and shake the earth like a naughty child. She learned early that sunshine depended on her. Yes, she had to marry when she didn't want, a man one homestead over, must birth conveniences in a one-room cabin. Drought and hail are bastard children that require the recompense of scrubbing with blistered hands on bruised knees, underwear boiled twice, the sterilizing of her nursing nipples, the dutiful propagation of her species. But any farm woman knows it's not decent when the man pulls off her muslin nightdress before he lays on her pillow breasts and pudding soft belly, for however long it takes to plant a seed where another sun might grow, all right in front of the one sleeping, she hopes, 2 feet away. Her husband handles his horse better. She prefers a horse too, and retreats at such times to a young girl on a white mare, to a saddle's easy rhythm, the slow build-up from walk to trot to gallop, to the red burst of shame. She prays for fitting atonement, feels it like a gift, the gravity of an early grave. Already her legs and arms are rooted in the earth.
Tricia Dubois is our next poet. Tricia will skillfully untwine for us woman entangled through her poem, Luna Maria. And this one is right here.
I was going to go over and stand next to the painting so you could watch it while I read, but I just would like to request that you guys look at the painting while I read, because that's who's speaking in the poem. The name of my poem is Luna Maria, which refers to the seas of the moon. Watch me, what I can do. I will take you with me. Hands and arms and mouth, the swell of belly, and all that glitters there. Deep beneath the chambered currents of the sea, consider this shimmering moonlit water. The waves break and hiss at our feet, holding us fast in their turbulent arms. We are seized, thrust away from shore, plunged at last into the awesome breach of the river ocean. With the moon as our compass, we glide, making slow passage across marshes and bays, over inviolate seas and mountains, called clouds, heat, desire, named tranquility. We are fish riding the silver back of the tide, merfolk wreathed in grassy mantles, rising to the trembling surface, returning with a splash to the inky depths. We linger somewhere in between, drowsy at the fluid edge of sleep and dreams, swimming together until we are finished with it. Thank you.
Veronica Golos responds poetically to Rane's Ida by Moonlight in her poem of the same name. And here is the painting.
I think it's really interesting that not all but most of the readers are women, because if Bill Rane is known for anything, it's this woman understanding something about women that even we, I think the poems are trying to get at. I kind of don't like to say that, but it's true. I was so taken, I was right up in this painting, like right up into the brushstrokes. Ida by moonlight. We cannot bear that other face, the one in shadow, as if there is another us, the one we were or will be, the self that is ancient, useful. Do you know what I mean? Do you carry scars like a warrior might? Moonlight is not what we think it to be. It is fierce, tug and pull, a crack in the larger moon, a breach. Nothing prepares us when the woman of the moon descends. She enters first into our hair, twines herself there, shade, shadow, smear. Do not blame her when you step into the sea, when you taste salt, when you allow the water into your body. Meet her call. Do not grow faint. Rise, heavy with moon. Lift the painted veil. Behold her face, the glowing cheeks, the neck of gold, the fevered breasts. It will change you till nothing is left.
Reacting to the painting known as Five Graces, Cheryl Letcher shares She's Rising, and I will walk over and show you where this painting is.
Well, I'd like to thank Judith for having us here again. We were here last year, some of us. It's an honor to be here. I think I was working from the smallest image on the website, so I was working from something tiny to some of the whole. She's rising. In the language of ancestors, the word flight burns on the tongues of daughters born to reinvent themselves daily. Their resourceful choreography, a distraction and solace. Advance, retrace, circle the hearth, pause. Steeled by fate's spare clarity and necessity's hard frame, five unraveled the silky prison of myth and scattered. Firstborn to boulder fields, where snow endures on shifting frontiers. The gleaner, guarding crops from a chickie hut, air stung with fennel. One half kelpie, folded into stone coast ocean, chiseled by salt-laden winds. Two drifters, down valley on Sun Road, feet awake with a life of their own. Summoned each autumn to prayer under shelter of the same alder. Crickets cree your old world names, succulent as lily root dumplings.
And Joseph Hutchinson characterizes a woman with